I want traffic shut down, both lanes. Send me in 2 helicopters. We're going to land them in the median.
There are multiple people trapped and there's multiple fatalities.
This is probably the most trauma patients we've had from one incident in my career here.
Here you go on a day like today, beautiful summer day, and now we were put to the test.
Channel 2 News starts now with breaking news.
And that is the breaking news we have this evening here on Channel 2. A tour bus carrying more than 50 people crashed, overturned on the New York State Thruway in the town of Pembroke. Officials have confirmed that there are multiple deaths. Tonight, we know the National Transportation Safety Board is launching a team to Western New York to begin an extensive investigation right now. This crash happened on the 90 eastbound between exits 48 and 49. Right now, we want to get an update from New York State Police for an update on that situation.
There's supposed to be a malt box, I think.
The presser's going to start.
As you know, Channel 2 has a team of reporters that have been covering this all day long, and so they are at the scene right now where we are expecting to get an update from New York State Police about this crash. We know that it happened this afternoon. We know that there are multiple fatalities. We also know that at least 24 patients were taken to ECMC. 20 of those patients we last heard were still receiving treatment. When we heard from doctors at ECMC, they told us that 2 people were currently in surgery at that particular time. We also know that patients were taken to other hospitals within the Kaleida system. Kaleida has Oshai Children's Hospital, and there we heard from our Alyssa Clausel that 3 children were there, 1 in serious condition, 1 in good condition. 4 people were also taken to Buffalo General Hospital. And then we know that others were taken to Millard Fillmore Hospital, Millard Fillmore Suburban. That is all within the Kaleida system. We were told earlier initially that some patients were taken to Strong Memorial. That is in the Rochester area. Just to bring you up to speed a little bit more about that accident that occurred. This was a tour bus that took place this afternoon on the 90. And we do know that that tour bus originated in New York City, then went to Niagara Falls, and it was actually headed back to New York City. Our Dave McKinley has been at ECMC where there was a briefing from the doctors earlier. Dave, if you can recap what they told us.
Sure, Claudine. Well, as the region's designated adult trauma hospital, you can imagine it was all hands on deck here at ECMC, which knew that it would be receiving the bulk of the patients from that crash in Pembroke. And although the chief medical officer here told me this afternoon that he can't recall a mass casualty event that brought this many patients to the hospital at one time, that they do train for it all the time and that they were well prepared. Now, as you mentioned, this was a tour bus out on the Thruway. It had passengers from several different countries. They speak several different languages. That posed an issue with a language barrier for first responders on the scene. And of course, same thing here at ECMC, but they adopted a plan to deal with that as well. Listen.
Many of the patients were bilingual, so they were able to provide some history in English. And then we also actually utilized all of our translation services through the entire hospital. We had brought down, so we had over 15 or 20 translation devices, actually more translation devices than patients arriving available.
As of 2 hours ago, 24 adult patients had been brought here to ECMC, 4 of them by Mercy Flight. 20 remained here being treated for everything from broken bones to contusions to head injuries, internal blunt force trauma. 2 were in surgery. However, we're told both were expected to make it. And we're also told that a team of medical staff from ECMC actually rushed to that scene in Pembroke so that they could help triage the victims there. ECMC is just one place, though, where the victims of this crash has gone. Let's pick up the story from there with my colleague Alyssa Clausel. Alyssa.
Yeah, hey there. So we know that Kaleida Health, the operator of multiple hospitals in the Buffalo area, including Children's Hospital and Buff General, are treating patients from this crash. In fact, we know that exactly 20 are being treated. And I spoke with a representative from Kaleida Health not too long ago who was able to provide some numbers and figures on exactly who's being treated, what their condition is. And we know that they came to Children's Buff General through multiple modes of transportation, including ambulances and Mercy flights. And so far, we know that at Children's Hospital, there are 3 children being treated. 1 is in serious condition and 2 are in good condition. And according to the Kaleida Health spokesperson, she says that 4 adults, all in good condition. 1 was already discharged over at Buffalo General. And in Millard Fillmore over in Amherst, 11 adults, 2 children being treated from that crash. 10 are in good condition and 3 are in fair condition. And, you know, in speaking to Kaleida Health and reading the statement that they were able to send to us, they say they are prepared for this situation. They regularly practice for mass casualty events such as this one. And, you know, they say they're going to continue to treat these patients. That's all we have right now this evening. Live and on your side, Alyssa Clausel, Channel 2 News.
Alyssa, thank you for bringing us that update from Oishei Children's Hospital. We know that children were also on that tour bus, and so that's why it was so important to find out what was happening there. We want to go live back to the scene, and that's where our Alexandra Rios-Melvilla is standing by to bring us an update from the scene. Alex?
Claudine, we are expected to hear from the state police anytime now with the presser that's right here beside me. But here's what we know so far. That tour bus involved in that deadly rollover has now moved from this grass onto the roadway right there behind me. This is at the thruway where Erie and Genesee County lines meet. The crash would shut down the traffic in both directions earlier today. And state police say that the bus drifted into the median, then overcorrected before tipping onto its side. What we know so far is that more than 50 passengers were on board, traveling from Niagara Falls back to New York City. Many of them, again, were from India, China, or the Philippines, and crews are working to get interpreters, have been working and did so to get interpreters here to assist those who need that language assistance. The cause of this crash is still up in the air, and a press conference, again, is expected soon to provide even more details.
This is something we train for. Actually, we're talking when our commissioned officers take the test or do some sort of it would be like a practical exam. This is the scenario a lot of times that they pick. And this is something we train for with other agencies. Everyone always talks about school shootings or like some sort of incident like that. But we also train for things like this, being a thruway. We do live in a very busy area.
And again, the reason for this crash is still unknown. Hopefully we'll learn that soon during this press conference. But for now, Claudine, I'm going to send it back to you.
Alex, thank you for bringing us that update from the scene. And of course, we do hope to hear from officials at that live press conference that is expected to happen sometime this evening. We do want to get a check on the traffic, however. Lance Mellon is checking that out. We know that at least the 90 West was reopened. Lance, fill us in.
Claudine and the crew still actively working on the scene of the accident on the 90 East, very close to the Pembroke exit, and that portion is going to be closed. It's kind of tough to tell when it'll be reopened. Could be into the night, could be another hour or two. It's hard to say, but for now, plan to avoid this section of the 90 East from Depew to Pembroke, from Erie into Genesee County. And yeah, the 90 West has been reopened through that same stretch. We do still have about a mile delay. These are just folks that are driving by and looking over at the accident. Still a lot of emergency personnel on scene, so it's awfully distracting. So this isn't caused by any additional issue. This is just folks slowing down as they pass by the scene for the westbound portion. And thankfully, a lot of that volume has been alleviated on the 90 through Batavia as well. We had a long line for folks trying to get off this exit and use either Route 5 or Route 33, which have been the designated alternate routes. They run parallel to the 90. And as the evening commute continues, it seems as though the volume is alleviating as well. We hit it at a spot that was awfully busy during the drive, but it seems like it has been clearing up on those secondary roadways. But what hasn't cleared up yet is because of all that extra volume, there was a injury accident, a pretty serious one on Walden Avenue out in Alden, and it's been closed still for about 3 miles between Genesee Street and Town Line Road. Still no timeline of when that will be reopened as well, but the 90 is still closed for the time being. Claudine, back over to you.
All right, Lance, thank you so much for that. We're all working a little OT today for sure. Mercy Flight helicopters and ambulances transported 20 people from the scene today. We did speak with the organization's president, who says she is proud of the work the crews have done on what's been a difficult day for everyone.
I'm extremely proud of us today. Not only that our operational crews and our communication center team perform meticulously, but the surge page that we put out to the rest of our workforce was so well responded to by those off duty that came in and manned additional ambulances and provided support to their teammates. So I was very proud of that.
Ferrantino says 8 helicopter EMS units responded to the scene, along with 17 ambulances on their ground crew. 2 Mercy Flight EMTs also went on that bus that transported what she called the walking wounded. Stay with 2 on your side as we continue to learn more about the situation. We, of course, will continue to update you throughout our newscast and online right now on this streaming app. We'll be right back in just 2 minutes. Welcome back. Welcome back. We continue to follow the breaking news of the Thruway bus tragedy. We are now getting an update from New York State Police. Let's listen in.
Unfortunately, not a good afternoon or good evening. My name is Andre Ray, Major New York State Police, Troop Commander of Troop T. And this afternoon on I-90 in the town of Pembroke, an absolute tragedy took place. And first and foremost, our thoughts, prayers, and hearts go out to those involved, their friends, and their family. At approximately 12:22 p.m. today, a tour bus owned by M&Y Tour Inc. out of Staten Island was carrying 54 people in total. 2 of those being operators and employees of the bus company, 52 being passengers. The passengers range in age from 1 to 74 years old. While heading eastbound just before exit 48A, the operator lost control of the bus, exiting the roadway and rolling the tour bus. Tragically, multiple people were ejected from the bus, with 5 people deceased at the scene. Multiple individuals were taken to Erie County Medical Center, Strong Memorial, Millard Fillmore, and UMMR in Batavia. The cause of the collision is still under investigation. However, mechanical failure as well as operator impairment have been ruled out at this time. The operator has been cooperative, and with the investigation still underway, no charge. Dash cam footage that could help us in this investigation, contact Troop A, SP Batavia at 5-344-6200. Again, that's 585-344-6200. In closing, again, I ask you all to please give the families their privacy, their time to mourn and grieve their lost loved ones, as well as pray for and keep in your thoughts and mind those involved, as well as their families and their friends. At this point, I'll take a few questions. I do not have the exact ages, however, no children passed away. Yes, initially it was believed that a child had passed away, but further investigation has deemed that to be false. There were children transported to the hospital. Many people have subsequently been released from the hospital. I'm unaware of any serious physical injuries to children at this point. Their points of origin vary. The bus, again, was coming from New York City initially to the American side of Niagara Falls, and then now was returning to Niagara Falls in New York, or returning to New York City. M as in Mary, and Y as in young. Yeah, so M and Y. M as in Mary.
Like an ampersand?
Yes.
Okay, M and Y.
Tor Inc.
Out of
Staten Island. Yes.
Okay. And were they just coming up to Niagara Falls and back? Was that the plan?
They had already been to Niagara Falls, and yes, they were returning.
Can you talk about the scale of this? I mean, is this the worst freeway crash that puts casualties?
Tragically, in the many years of the Thruway, there's been several horrific accidents, with this being one of them, which is why the New York State Police are actively out enforcing the speed laws, move over laws, DWIs. We are dedicated to ensuring public safety. That is one of our mission statements, to ensuring highway safety. That is one of our mission statements.
You said they were heading east, so how do you think the accident occurred? Did they hit another vehicle?
Nope. At this point, and again, it's still under investigation. It's believed the operator became distracted, lost control, overcorrected, and ended up on the right shoulder there.
Are there any
The investigation is still underway, so it's too early to state whether or not charges will take place.
Distracted by what? In rescuing people? You know, it was on its side, you had a crane. Could you talk about that?
Yes, it took an extensive amount of effort from our first responders, both fire and EMS, along with partnering with the tow companies. So again, a debt of gratitude is owed to them and the hard work that they do. Yes, it's been towed as evidence back to SP Batavia.
Do you know what distracted the driver?
We have suspicions, but it's still under investigation at this time. At this point, no other vehicles are believed to have been involved.
All 5 people that passed away were passengers, not part of the operation.
That is my understanding, yes.
Is there anything more you can share about the conditions of the other people who were taken to the hospital?
My last update, no one else was in a life-threatening status. Multiple people were treated and subsequently released already. Nope, I'm sorry, mechanical error was ruled out, as well as impairment or intoxication. Yes.
Do you mean like by a cell phone or like another driver?
No, operator. Nothing outside of the vehicle. Excuse me? I don't know their specific origin. However, the occupants of the bus hailed from a variety of places across the world, from China, India, the Philippines, and the Middle East as well as American. It is too early to determine that. I will state, though, multiple occupants were thrown around in the bus, with multiple being ejected. I believe, yes, belts are required.
The trooper earlier today said that the bus was going at, quote, full speed, unquote. Can you clarify that?
I don't know exactly what was being referenced, so I'm...
The bus was traveling past the speed limit?
I don't have any of that information.
Did you see from the magnitude of this scene, you see the amount of first responders behind you and the vehicles behind you, speak to the teamwork and the magnitude of people that responded?
Again, I have nothing but appreciation, the utmost appreciation and respect for all of our partners, our tow companies, the county sheriff. The sheriff is to To my left shoulder right over here, our partners at the Thruway Authority are phenomenal in getting our roadways reopened as quickly as possible, and keeping all of the first responders as safe, as well as you as safe as possible. So, thank you.
And you have just been hearing from New York State Police giving us an update. We did get some new information. We now know that there were 54 people on that tour bus. 52 were passengers from various places around the world. The ages on that tour bus, age 1 to age 74. Originally, we were told that one child was among those who died. State police have now cleared that up and said that is not the case, but they did say that 5 people actually died at the scene. Something else that we learned in this latest press conference is that they have ruled out mechanical failure. They have also ruled out impairment and intoxication. At this time, no charges have been filed at this particular time. We, of course, will continue to follow this developing story throughout the evening. We'll have more on Buffalo Nightly News starting at 7 p.m. on Channel 2.